Hi, everyone. I'm Matt Ricker,
And I'm Catherine White, Executive Director of the New Rochelle Chamber of Commerce.
and we're here with the brand new podcast, Chamber Chat. Joining us now is Liam Geer, the director of the Iona University Pipe Band. Liam, thank you for joining us this afternoon.
Yeah, absolutely. Extremely happy to be here.
Excellent.
First off, tell us a little bit about the pipe band, how you got involved, and why you love it so much.
Yeah, absolutely. The pipe band here has been at Iona for this is our 59th year.
Wow.
It was formed, in 1966, right?
There you go.
Yeah,
Good math.
1966. And it was just a way to bring the best pipers and drummers through the New York area to be able to play in college. Because at that time, there weren't a lot of college pipe bands. On the East Coast, I believe we were the only ones. Now, when you look, the plethora of colleges throughout the East Coast, down south, out west, that actually have college and high school pipe bands. And it's just the great thing about this band is that it keeps the tradition alive, and it supports the Irish heritage of this school. I got involved in it because I began learning bagpipes when I was 8 years old.
Wow.
And everyone I encountered, they kept telling me, they're like, "Oh, Liam, Iona, Iona, Iona." I was like, "What is Iona? I don't know what this is." So as I got older, and especially once I got into high school, I was like, you know what? Let me look this up. And I was at Iona College at the time, right?
Right.
And I looked. I was like, "Wow, nice Catholic school, right?" That was one of the top things on the list of schools, right?
Right.
I was always looking for a good Catholic school, and then I kept looking, and I was like, "Oh, they have a pipe band. This is cool." So now I was looking at it, and I was like, I can still play in the different bands throughout the East Coast, but also play in college, right?
Cool.
And what we do is we play at certain on-campus events, different events off-campus, parades every March. We do St. Patrick's Day parades throughout the area between Connecticut, New York, New Jersey, and it's just great. We keep it alive.
But your favorite parade in New Rochelle is?
The New Rochelle Thanksgiving Parade.
Okay. So you'll be there again this year, correct?
Absolutely. November 23rd, 10 a.m., right?
10 a.m.
10 a.m. parade start.
Exactly.
Now,
That's right.
tell me, so every year, you march in these parades as a group, and you've been doing it for some time now. What is the experience like when you're walking down Fifth Avenue, when you're walking down Main Street? What is the experience like marching with everyone?
It's like none other. Yeah, the moment that those pipes get going, the crowd just goes wild. And that it really is, that makes it worth it. When you're going down the street and you see all these people, and the first thing that they say, they're like, "Wow, that's Iona," right? And then they hear those pipes start, and it's just, everyone's like, they're just amazed at what this is, right? I mean, I remember my first experience when I was 8 years old. My first parade was going up Fifth Avenue. That was my first parade when I was 8 years old. So that was my first experience with any crowds, any parades, and it was just amazing. And it doesn't fail every year, for whether it's the New Rochelle Thanksgiving Parade or for St. Patrick's Day. It's just the best thing ever. It's one of the greatest things to feel, that you're like, wow, all this time just doesn't go unnoticed.
So you're the director for Iona, and you don't play with Iona, but you play with other bands?
Yeah, so I play with a band up in Hartford, and I also play with a band down here, the Pelham Regional Pipe Band, which will also be in attendance for the New Rochelle Thanksgiving Day.
Exactly. They march in front of the fire department, because the fire chief actually called up and said, "I need a pipe band to keep us in line." And then with the Iona band, you march in front of the Tom Turkey balloon that Iona sponsors every year.
Absolutely. Yeah. And it's been great. The pipe band for Pelham's been around, this is their sixth year, and it just grows and grows every year.
Yeah, they're very dedicated.
Yeah, absolutely, and they get better and better every year, and it's fantastic. A great group of guys and girls to play with, to hang out with, and again, we keep the tradition going.
And so lastly, what's one thing you would like people to know about the pipe band or take from it?
Just when you hear those pipes, do not be alarmed. Yes, they're very loud. But when you hear the full band, just take in the music and just think about the Irish and the Scottish culture. right? Because that's not a thing that you see all the time, right? You always see the pipe bands and you think, oh, police, or parades, or what have you. Just think about the heritage behind it, and just know that these students, especially the students here, have put a lot of time into honing their art.
Right. So you're all wearing a uniform kilt. Is there a specific tartan that is that you're?
Yeah. So the tartan that we have is the McLean of Dewar tartan, and that was the clan tartan of the Iona Island. Okay. So that's where we got that from, the Isle of Iona, the clan Dewar. So that tartan kind of became ours. And there are, as far as I know, there are only around 3 or 4 pipe bands in the world that wear this tartan. It's us. There's a school in Scotland that wears it, and then there are 2 pipe bands from Iona, the actual Iona,
That's fair.
that have the tartan as well. So it's a pretty rare tartan. But we are very we are glad to be able to kind of keep that going.
I always wondered about that.
Yeah. Yep.
So if there's a student out there who, is an 8-year-old who's been learning the pipe band, playing a pipe or drum or, a piper because of their family heritage, how do they get involved in being in the Iona band? Is there a process? Is there a tryout? Do you recruit?
Yep, absolutely. So we recruit students who apply here. And, we always say it's always great if you include that you have the experience in the application. So that way we know. If not, please feel free to reach out to us. We'd be more than happy to speak with you. You reach out to us through email, on phone, and we'll talk you through the process. We usually have the incoming students come in one weekend, and we just kind of see what they can do. And based off that, then we can know, okay, this is a huge fit for us, and then we know what we can do throughout the year in terms of what kind of tunes to play, and what we can do at certain events, maybe play some reels, some jigs, right? That kind of helps us. But for anyone who has the experience and the expertise, please, it would be great to have you.
So is it like that's an audition process? And do you have kind of like, just to use a baseball reference, do you have like, a minor league group of, pipers that don't march, but we're working on getting them to move up?
Not yet. That is actually something that I would love to work on doing here, is starting a teaching program, because I think that would be able to keep the pipe band strong and big, right? So that way, maybe, you're not quite there yet in your first year or 2, but by your 3rd or 4th year, you will be with us in these gigs and the parades themselves.
And so, correct me if I'm wrong, but Iona has different scholarships, right, for pipe band players?
Yeah, absolutely. So we offer a scholarship to any student who plays in the band. The scholarship does go up as you go up in academic year. And then if you hold a position on the board, then that is taken into account when we offer these scholarships as well. So because we understand that it is a huge commitment, and there's a lot going on, but it's a great thing to do, and it helps keep the school what it is.
I've noticed that the Iona basketball games and other events, that the pipers have been collaborating with the Iona tappers. And
the Irish dance team, the Irish dance team has been huge. Yeah.
So that's, can you talk about that?
Yeah, absolutely. The Irish dance team was formed, I would say, 2 or 3 years ago. Our director of performing arts came in and said, you know what? I don't know why we don't have one. It's time. And she was very instrumental with getting that going. And, when you look at the other Catholic schools in the area, they all have these big Irish dance teams. And when we got it formed here, we it was very noticeable that the students in the Irish dance teams were champions in their own right. They have won all of these contests for Irish dance within the U.S. and abroad. And one of the great things was that we all are here for the same aspect, right? We are here to promote the Irish heritage. Mm-hmm. And when we realized that we could do these big events where the pipe band can play and the Irish dance can dance, it made the spectacle 10 times better.
So those are halftime shows?
Yeah, sometimes you're at the basketball games or different other like events.
Yeah, of course. we'll do some halftime for basketball, some events for St. Patrick's Day or halfway to St. Patrick's Day on campus.
Right.
We'll do combine the trustees gala in the spring is always a big one, and then certain smaller events here and there that we kind of do a small combo.
Is the trustees gala? There's something like wasn't there like a Piper's competition or a Piper's event, or was that the trustees gala?
No, so there's the trustees dinner in the spring that's put on by the board of trustees. I believe what you're speaking of. We had a Piper's Ball last year.
That's right.
This was an event that the pipe band used to throw up until about 20 years ago. And for some reason it had stopped, and we ended up doing a concert. But after a while, I sat down and I thought about it and said, you know what, we need to bring that Piper's Ball back. So we had it last year as our first year after 20, I think it was around 22 years. And it was a great event. So many people came back and just took in everything that the campus had to offer. And it was great for the alumni to be with the current students. And now next year is the 60th anniversary of the pipe band. So that will be our next big Piper's Ball.
Got it.
Amazing. Yeah. All right. Well, William Geer, thank you very much for coming by, and we hope you come back in the future.
Yeah, absolutely. Thanks for having me, and I will always be around, so just let me know.
And we'll see you at the Thanksgiving Day parade.
Absolutely. See you there.
Thanksgiving parade, right.
Yep, absolutely, guys.
All right. Thank you.
All right, thank you.